Welcome to a new vlog. Welcome to the woods. I'm back in the woods. I've had the COVID cut, shall we call it. I've just got amazing shafts of light. Things are a bit green now in the woods. It's been a long time since I've been to the woods, but the light changing in this scene is just incredible. So I'm just taking panos. I'm bracketing 3 shots. I can't remember settings off the top of my head. Not really important. Using the 50, which is about 75 on a Nikon, and I'm just spreading left and right, and I've taken this scene probably 3 or 4 times now, so it's a lot of shots. I'm taking 3 or 4 times. It's bracketing 3 shots, and it's probably 6 or 7 shots across. So you're looking at like 21 shots, which I'll blend each individual HDR, and then I'll stitch them together in Lightroom. The light's just incredible. The sun is setting to your sort of 90 degrees to you, so everything is just full on illuminated. But because of the canopy, like I just said, they're quite green. It's quite sheltered and quite dark, so you're getting them nice sort of shafts of light. And now that the sun is sort of setting, it's more soft. It's not, obviously high up in the ground, really harsh. It's very soft. So this little exercise I'm doing now is really practice on what's the word? Sort of responding to the light. If I see light, I'm looking at it. It's not so much about the composition initially, which I find a lot of the time it's like that in Woodland. It's more reacting. That's it. I'm reacting to the light, which is ever changing. Hence the reason why I'm doing a pano, to try and capture the whole scene. I'll probably do a nice tight letterbox to try and cut out as much sky as possible. And the foreground's pretty blur as well. The bluebells are very past it. They're nice, but there's more bramble here. I'm over I would say the more rural side of the woods. It's not so known so much for its bluebells. To try and get away from the busy crowds, because it is quite busy in these woods. But yeah, just listen. Unbelievable. Like in my last vlog, which would have been 2 weeks ago. I'm very sorry about last week. I didn't manage to get a vlog out. But yeah, 2 weeks ago, I went out in the morning and Pusey, it's just the noise of the birds is just incredible. So yeah, panos, level tripod, and take a wider scene than you need to. Bracket if you need to. Set your exposure on your on your brightest part of your shot. Or depending on what you want to do, this artistic license. There's no exact science to it. Set your exposure on the look of your final image to give you the best possible information, and then don't change it. Stick it all into manual. Keep it the same as you sweep. You don't want that exposure to change, because you will have a nightmare in Lightroom stitching it together. I've got an hour till sunset, so I'm just gonna have a little mooch about, and if I see anything else, I'll take it. If I don't, I'm happy with what I think. I've got enough here to make a decent pano, and if I'm not, like I said, if I'm going wider than you need to, I can take that little pano within a pano, or a shot within the pano, which gives me plenty of options when I get back. So yeah. probably can't see on this camera. Just there. I'm gonna leave him alone. Amazing, see? This is what getting out into the forest and the wilderness is all about. Seeing the nature. And with this COVID, that we're all going through at the moment, now that we are allowed to get out into nature, take advantage of it. Because you'll be amazed how much closer this little bit of respite we've given our nature, how much, let me rephrase that, by giving them this little breather, all the nature, animals, insects, birds, they've all slowly crept back towards us, and now that we're allowed to experience it again, you're more likely to go and see it. And if you wear the appropriate footwear, sorry Gavin, I stole that off you, you know, you can sneak up on them. I've got a lovely scene here. It's a bit flat. I could do with some light, but I really like this silvery barked tree. I think it is a silver birch actually. Against the really dark background. The hillside tapers right down, and it's just really dark, which is helping this silver tree. And I've got 3 other little trees in the background with like a green bush. I'm having to do quite long exposures and bracket to try and get the detail. The camera's struggling with the exposure, if I'm honest. It's the dark background and that silvery shimmer on that tree there. It's really hard to expose. It's sort of tricking the camera in a way. So I'm having to bracket just as an insurance policy. And I'm a little bit rusty, if I'm honest, since I've been out. I've obviously been out for a long time, so yeah, it's just like an insurance policy. Yeah, I'll talk you through the shot now. So basically, this tree here is the main tree with the shimmer up one side, and you've got this bush in the background, and then you've got like a sapling coming out of the tree in the background, and you've got these sort of orangey trees in the right next to that, and then obviously this band here is really dark, and the foreground and this tree is quite bright. I'm eliminating all the sky. It's a nice scene. It's quite a sort of dramatic scene. I'm trying to create a bit of drama using the contrast and the contrast in the light that I'm getting. It's a exercise that you should try and do. You know, most of the time when you go out, it's exactly what I try and do anyway. Is when you haven't got them real atmospheric conditions, just try and use the lighting conditions that you've got. Light versus dark. Try and use that dark areas, all the light areas to your advantage, and help you isolate or help you make a certain subject stand out, which is exactly what I'm doing here with this tree. The image has got depth because we've got these trees here and that bush and that dark background. There's a few little blue brows which are keeping the mid-ground somewhat interesting. It's no world beater, but it's a test of my. It's just a test, you know, photographic test which is always good, and more so hard now that I'm a little bit rusty. But yeah, I think this shot will turn out alright, so I think I'm going to walk back to the car now and get back because it's almost 9 o'clock. Sun's pretty much gone down. I'm not going to get a shot now, so I'm going to walk back slowly, pack all my gear up, see if I can see some deer on the way back. Like I said earlier, seen that little deer back there, and I'm pretty sure it was a red deer, and I've seen another one behind you, but I scared it off walking in the bracken. So put all the camera equipment away, just have a nice little walk and enjoy the peaceful tranquility of being on my own out in the woods after all this time of being cooped up in the house. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Photoninja. Welcome to the woods once again, and I hope you like my pano and this shot here, and I'll see you next week where I'll probably be in the woods again. Ciao.